Hello, fellow truth seekers. This is Barbara Jean. Oh, hold on. This won't be a very long video. I just wanted to talk a little tiny bit about what I said in my last video. I was just so inspired by that piece of music that I listened to over on the weekend. We are free. It just keeps running in my head. I just keep hearing it over and over again. Now we are free. La, da, 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 da. Anyway, I can't do justice. You can't really doesn't mean anything to you, but unless you listen to it, I just keep hearing it over and over and over again in my head. But anyway, um, I just was thinking how incredible God is in that. I was thinking, how we love the theater. I love the theater. I love music. I love the arts. I love arts and crafts. I love people who are creative. I love paints and painting, and I don't paint myself, but I love paintings and people who are creative, and I just find that fascinating. Of course, myself, God gave me the creative art of singing. I don't sing as much as I used to. In fact, I hardly sing at all these days. But God did give me the creative art of singing, and one day when I'm in heaven, I'm sure I'll be singing again, but without the hindrances of this imperfect vocal cords that I'm experiencing right now, and of course the tiredness and all the things that go along with the physical problems that I'm having and experiencing in this life. But then I thought again, it's so interesting because we are told we're going to have a testimony. Just a moment, see if I can cue up a verse for you. Just a second. Revelation 6:9. And when he'd opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. So, um, there's lots of other verses about testimony. I saw just the word testimony and testimonies. Um, but we all have a testimony. We all have we're overcomers. I was thinking about that dream I had, and it was more important than I thought when I was when I was telling you about the dream I just had about sitting at the piano and playing this piano beautifully and singing the song by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathered home, we will tell the story how we overcome. We will understand it better by and by. Anyway, it's about the overcoming testimony. And I was thinking about the theater. I was thinking about how the theater is so important. The theater has been with mankind for thousands of years. It's not a new thing. It didn't start with the movies in Hollywood. It started with, um, thousands of years ago. We've all loved good stories. We love the Bible stories. The Bible's full of wonderful stories. Moses and Solomon and David and Gideon, Jesus and John and Paul. And we love to hear their testimony. We love to hear their testimonies. And I started thinking, getting so excited just thinking about it, how one day we will actually get to see these things in the great theater in the sky. There is a theater in the sky, a theater in the heavenly places where we'll actually be able to go and have a movie experience. It'll be the Ten Commandments on steroids. We'll be able to see the Ten Commandments for real. Wouldn't that be exciting? And plus, it'll be have its own special music orchestrated to it, and we will be inspired by people's stories from the past, but our own stories too. If you have a testimony, it'll be in the tabernacle of the testimonies that will be open in heaven. In fact, let me just read that for you. I got so excited when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, we will be singing songs. We'll be singing, making. They'll be composed. They will be composing music to the millions of testimonies in heaven of overcomers, just like you and me, and people who have had stories, people who have great works, and people who have great faith, and people who have great grace, and people who have great mercy, and people who have great victories over satanic spiritual battles and physical battles and mental battles, emotional battles, people who've overcome, and there'll be movies forever. There'll be movies made forever, and concerts and series of music being being built around stories in your life and their lives and our lives. It'll be so grand, and the music will be beyond. We think what we're hearing right now is fantastic. It'll be even more fantastic in heaven when it's perfect, when there's no hindrances in the spirit to great creativity. Think about that. Isn't that amazing? To great creativity. There will be no Satan and negative spirit saying, you can't do that. Nobody will listen to that. Nobody will want to look at that painting. Nobody will think it's wonderful. Nobody will want to pay you anything for that. That's lousy. You won't be hearing all those negative voices in your head. It'll just be freedom of creativity and power, and you'll just go, whew. You want to paint something, it'll be on the canvas, and whatever you think, it'll be moved and manipulated however you want to. You want to use a brush to brush on the canvas, it'll be there. But if you want to use your mind to do it, it'll be there too. You want to create music, it'll be there. You want to play the piano, you'll be able to. You always wanted to play the flute, you will. So anyway, I just got so excited when I thought about this, because I was thinking about how, the 144,000, they're given their own song. The Bible's quite clear. They will be given their own song. Not to say that they're the only ones who will be singing. We'll all be singing our own song. We have songs created just for us. Just for your testimony, there'll be songs created for you that you'll be able to sing, and only you will be able to sing. But this 144,000, which are talked about in Revelation chapter 14, it's no coincidence. It's 144, chapter 14. They're given a new song that only they can sing with the harps. They'll be orchestrated. It'll be orchestrated, people. And then, of course, that's in the chapter 15, after the great wrath. The grape harvest is. They're all taken up. All those who will not take the mark of the beast, they'll have their own song too. They sing the song of Moses. That's Revelation chapter 15. They sing the song of Moses. A song is composed for them to sing. And it'll be fantastic. It'll be an amazing song. I mean, the orchestration, I can just imagine it's going to be like hundreds and hundreds of trumpets and hundreds harps and hundreds of pianos and people all playing and singing at the same time in unity. It'll be fabulous. So, anyway, it says right here that when the white wine harvest is harvested, there is a tabernacle that's going to be open, and that is Revelation chapter 15:5. And after I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. So after the white wine harvest is all gathered in, and before God pours out his wrath on the enemies of God, those who've taken the mark of the beast, this tabernacle will be opened in heaven. And what do you think this tabernacle is? It's a great theater when thousands and thousands of people can come and view your life story. Isn't that amazing? And it'll be set to music. Our love for theater is not a mistake, people. Satan has absconded. He's counterfeited it. He's dirtied it. He's made a mess of it. But it wasn't his idea. It was God's idea. All the great composers all wrote for the theater. Mozart, Beethoven, Handel, Vivaldi. They wrote for the theater because they know people love a good story. And so do the people of God. And so does God. And one day we will be able to go to this tabernacle of the testimony in heaven and watch great stories of human beings, Moses, and like I said, Aaron and Adam and Eve, and we'll be watching their testimony on heaven in this place, and it'll be orchestrated, and it'll inspire us. It'll give us hope. It'll give us a great sense of our victory over the evils of the enemy. We'll be watching in real time, real people doing the real things that they've really done, but it'll be orchestrated in beautiful ways, and it'll glorify God. I just think that's exciting. So if you love the theater, don't feel guilty about it. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for loving arts. God gave you that. And in heaven, it'll go on forever. It's like great universities. There are some people who love to learn, and God has universities in heaven that'll be never-ending education. You'll have access to education forever and ever, and there'll always be something new to learn because God is infinite. It's like He's infinitely creative. He's infinitely, what you can learn will never end. Okay? There's some people who love to go to lectures, and some people who love to go to church service and learn, to hear someone talk about God and, you know, talk about the Bible and the things that are in it, the mysteries of Scripture, and there'll be always a place to go to listen to those things forever and ever, and it'll never be boring ever. If you love to worship, there'll be places to go and worship with a group of people, corporate worship, and people praising praises to God. There'll always be what we love on earth will be in heaven, but only more and better and perfect, with no hindrances, no negative spirits stopping the flow of your creativity and your worship and your love for the things of God. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say in this video. So, but anyway, if you haven't given your life to Jesus Christ, there's still opportunity. I would suggest you do so because I don't think anybody wants to face the mark of the beast. But there unfortunately will be many people who will. But it doesn't have to be you. God bless and have a great day.